Hello and welcome from Quito, Ecuador. We have officially made it to our third country out of our 50 country goal, which means that we are actually 6% done with completing that goal.
Yeah, and we have decided that today we are going to do a DIY food tour so that we can try a variety of traditional Ecuadorian foods. And maybe while we're digesting all of this amazing food, we will also visit the beautiful cathedral that's just around the corner from our Airbnb. So with that, I'm going to sit down and make a list of 10 things we want to try while in Quito, Ecuador. So last night I sat down and I researched Ecuadorian cuisine, and it looks kind of like a fusion of Peruvian cuisine and Colombian cuisine, at least from what I could tell. And so I tried to pick out a couple things that we haven't tried yet because some of the foods do overlap. So things like the guinea pig, which we did have in Peru, and the empanada, which we did have in Colombia. So I'm going to try to find 10 new foods that we can taste today.
The walls were white, the flame was red, but her eyes were blue. So instead, I was thinking.
All right, the list is complete, and we are now going to go try some food.
I was thinking of you. Her skin was soft.
So the first stop on our food tour is going to be the Central Market, which apparently has a lot of traditional foods, and we're so excited to try it.
First thing that we got is the most elaborate drawing on my list. It is the hornado, and apparently it is a roasted pig cooked whole with a tomato stuffed in its mouth. And of course we didn't get the entire pig, we just got a little bit of it. And so for $2.50 we have the pig on top of what looks to be a salad with some little crisps on top, and then it comes with a dipping sauce. It's very, very good. The pork is perfectly tender, and this sauce is actually kind of sweet. It reminds me very much of the sauce that you dip Vietnamese spring rolls in, but it isn't as thick as that sauce. So next on the list, we were supposed to try ceviche de camarón, which is a shrimp ceviche, but seeing that we did that in Cartagena, I decided to do a different kind of ceviche. And so looking on their list, they had something called ceviche de concha, and I believe it's like a shellfish ceviche. And so we have a nice big bowl of that. It has come with some popcorn, which is apparently very popular in Ecuador as a table snack. And then also here we have some beautiful lime as well as a picante sauce, which is a hot sauce. I think that the shellfish that they've used in here is the clam. And you know, like when you eat clams, you kind of taste the ocean, or that taste of when you accidentally swallow some seawater when you're swimming in the ocean. That is the most prominent taste in this dish, in my opinion. It's very fragrant in many coastal notes, and it's so delicious. I really, really love it. And I don't think I've ever eaten like a raw clam before, so that's definitely new for me. So we have now walked to the downstairs of the market, and we have found our third thing to try. So this is the seco de chivo. Let me first talk about what seco is. So Ecuador is known for their stews, but their stews actually don't have a lot of broth in it. It's mostly kind of like a thick sauce that they kind of drizzle over meat. And so the seco de chivo is a thick goat stew cooked in beer. And traditionally it was cooked in chicha, which is a corn beer. And nowadays I believe they just use regular beer. And so we have the goat meat stew here, and it comes with some rice, avocado, a salad, and then some onions on top. Wow, that is very salty. So the stew itself is very salty, and I believe that is why it has come with so many sides over here. And so basically it tastes like a really savory beef stew, but with a lot of the starchiness that you would get in potato.
So the goat meat tastes kind of like my grandmother's beef stew. She would make these like beef tips that would be in a crock pot, and it's honestly very delicious, very chewy, and super savory.
So since we're already at the market, I actually have 2 fruits on the list that I want to try, and we're gonna go see if we can find them here.
All right, so we have left the market. We bought our fruit that we were gonna eat later at our Airbnb, but we are almost to this church that will overlook the entire city, and I'm really excited to explore it. So being in this Gothic style church really reminds me of when we visited Notre Dame. Claire and I actually were there on a study abroad trip, and we were in Notre Dame the day that it actually caught fire whenever they were having construction on it, which was just crazy because it happened like a few hours after we were there. So this definitely brings me back because I remember looking at the view and taking a photo on the same day with the vaulted arches, and it's just really crazy. So it's pretty wild to be walking across the vaulted arches right now. And also, I'm thinking about how high up we are. So it's a little bit scary, honestly, because I just think about right below, it's just this huge drop.
So we've just made it to the top of the back tower of the Basilica, and it was quite the journey getting here. You had to first walk through the top of the vaulted arches, and then once you walked through that tunnel, you had to climb 3 very scary ladders to make it up here. And these ladders are basically going pretty much vertical up, and so if you missed a step, you'd be falling backwards down a few stories. So you definitely had to be very careful. Chad is actually still very shook from that whole experience, and his heart is racing, and mine is too. And it's actually reminding me very much of our time at Bishop Castle when we were just climbing that very unstable handmade castle, and so bringing back great memories here.
The reason that I'm so terrified is because I would be holding the camera with one hand. There's a moment where you have to switch hands when you're going up. So then there's a moment where you're just standing without any support. So that's definitely the scariest part of climbing up.
So we've just climbed up to one of the clock towers, and we're about halfway up. And it's really funny, they actually serve drinks up here, and it's interesting because they're selling like alcoholic drinks, and we are in a cathedral, so that's just a very ironic thing to have up here. But we got one of the things that's on our foods to try list. So here we have the canolazo, and this is actually a very famous Ecuadorian cocktail, and it's actually served hot and spiced. And inside of here we've got cinnamon sugar naranjilla, which is a fruit that we're going to try later on in this video, and then also puntas, which is a strong Ecuadorian alcoholic drink. It tastes like a very hot spiced mango juice, and it's really delicious. It goes down super easy, and it's definitely on the tropical side. So Chad's gonna give it a little taste, and also look at this incredible view that we have with our drink.
So nice. And this drink only costs $3. It's great after walking down all those stairs. I was having a panic attack, like low-key.
This will calm you down, Chad.
Yes, I'm glad to be back by these thick concrete barriers and the nice concrete stairs instead of those thin metal ladder, basically.
So now that we are happily filled with canolazo, we are going to climb some more stairs to the top of the clock tower before heading out. So we've officially made it to the top of the clock tower, and I have a little fun fact for you. So because this is created in the Gothic style, there are all these very ornamental gargoyles that are coming off of the building. And instead of doing the more traditional gargoyles, they've actually replaced them with animals that can be found in Ecuador. So you can see like some pelicans, some iguanas, you know, animals that you see in the Galapagos. And it's just really funny to see these tropical animals coming off of such a Gothic work of architecture. So with that, we've seen most of the cathedral, and we are going to head back down and head back to our Airbnb. So from the market, we picked up these 2 fruits, and all 3 of these were just $1. All right, which one should we go with first?
This one.
Okay, so these orange fellas are naranjillas, and we actually tried a juice made out of these in Cartagena, Colombia, but over there they call them the ludo. And so different names, same fruit, and so today we're gonna try the fruit itself. All right, we're gonna cut into this bad boy. So this is the inside of the fruit. As you can see, it is divided into 4 sections, and it kind of has like a 4-leaf clover shape in the middle, and it kind of holds all the seeds in that 4-leaf clover shape.
Whoa, it's really cool.
Yeah, and then outside of that clover, you have this gelatinous looking fruit that kind of fills it in. All right, so we're assuming that you don't eat the skin because it feels kind of prickly.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's very tart and very sour. It reminds me kind of a warhead, but toned down.
Yeah, warhead, that's what it is.
Wow.
It's so sour.
Yeah, it's so sour.
So next up we have the pitahaya, and it appears to look like a prickly pear, and it is very similar to the dragon fruit.
Whoa.
So pretty.
All right, so we cut into the next fruit, and it looks so amazing.
Yeah, so it's got all these black seeds, and then it has these like little white veins that are just running through the jelly of the inside. Wow.
Yeah, and I was saying that it looks like topographical lines, like from a map.
Cheers.
I like that one a lot.
No, that's good.
Wow. It really is like a melon, kind of with a pear taste. And the seeds give it such a nice crunch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I want more.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we have 4 things left to try. What should we do next? So we found a restaurant that's a 30-minute walk away from our Airbnb, and it has 3 of the 4 things that are on our list. So we are going to go and get those 3 things, and then we're gonna have to try to figure out how to get that 4th item. Also, this 4th item is the most important item on the list. It's actually the national dish of Ecuador, and so we really need to find it because for some reason we can't find this dish anywhere, which is hilarious because it's the country's national dish.
So we were walking to our final restaurant of the night, but then we came across the traditional Ecuadorian soup that we were trying to find, and we found it, so we ordered 1 bowl, and it's gonna be our appetizer before we continue walking to our final restaurant for the night. So we got the popcorn and the plantain chips. Gracias. Wow. Okay.
So here we have the beautiful encebollado, and this is the national dish of Ecuador, and it smells so amazing. So what it basically is, it's a fish stew with albacore, onions, yuca, and all sorts of other veggies. And it comes with the popcorn and the green plantain chips that we already finished, as well as some lime, and I'm gonna squeeze some of that in.
We also ordered a pineapple drink. Gracias.
All right, I'm gonna give it a little taste. Apparently it's great for curing hangovers, and we do not have a hangover today. But we are going to have it anyways. It might be all the lime that I just added, but if you were to imagine ceviche as a soup, this is it. You've got this very lime-heavy soup, and overall it's very light and refreshing like a ceviche. And I can see why it's the national dish. It's very tasty. Oh, you want to taste the smoothie? We've had such good luck with pineapple smoothies, we just had to give it another go.
It tastes just as good as the other one we had.
To the next place. Muchas gracias.
So sadly it has started to rain, and we probably have another 20 minutes to walk.
20 minutes? So So we've made it to the restaurant, and it's definitely a nicer restaurant, and I feel kind of embarrassed because we're like soaking wet and we're not wearing nice clothes or anything, but I'm so excited to order because it was quite the journey getting here.
Wow. Wow.
So here we have a soup that is beautifully presented. It is quite literally on fire. And basically it is a creamy potato stew. And inside there are cheese as well as pork rinds, and it's topped off with some avocado. And so I'm really excited to try that. I'm gonna wait till the fire ceases so I don't burn my mouth or anything. So Ecuador is also known for their empanadas, and I didn't want to get like the usual empanadas, so I got something special that they're known for, and this is the empanada de viento. And basically it is a giant fluffy pie that is stuffed with cheese and then sprinkled over with some powdered sugar. And it is obviously very large or scale. So the very last thing that we got is the yapingacho, and basically it is these little potato pancakes that are stuffed with cheese, and it comes with 2 fried eggs, some sausage, chorizo, as well as tomatoes and avocado. Wow. This dough tastes exactly like a scallion pancake, but without the scallions. The inside is hollow. What?
The cheese.
Oh. So there's cheese on the inside, obviously because I mentioned it earlier, but I had forgotten. All right, it is soup time. This is the locro de papa, potato soup. It tastes like the perfect cream of potato soup. And because of the cheese, it actually reminds me of like a really good mac and cheese, but in soup form.
The way you described it, would it be really good to dip the empanada?
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to try is the yapingacho. And I'm just going to do the potato cake itself because I know what all the other ingredients taste like. So the yapingacho tastes like a very buttery mashed potato that's formed into a cake and then smothered in cheese. It actually tastes very similar to the causa rellena that I made in the cooking class in Lima, Peru. And so I think Chad is going to be a very big fan of it.
Well guys, I decided that it would be better not to get a to-go box because I didn't want to carry the weight on my back. So I decided to finish everything, and I'll be carrying it in my body back up the hill to our Airbnb. Dinner was very good. It cost us just under $30, which isn't too bad for the fuego experience that we got to have. Well, with that said, we are going to start our ascent. I believe the rain has stopped, which is going to help us out a lot. Oh my god.
We ate a lot of food today. But look at this, guys.
Look at what we accomplished.
Look at all the stuff we have in our stomachs right now. So to conclude the video, we wanted to kind of talk about our favorite dishes. You want to share yours first?
Yes, okay. My favorite dish was the empanada de viento, but I also do want to say my favorite memory from today was walking in the rain to the restaurant and then arriving at the restaurant, the final restaurant of the day, and it was way nicer than either of us expected, which kind of made this, impromptu date that we didn't really realize we were going to go on.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave us some time to just talk, and it was really nice.
It was really nice. As for me, I have 2 choices because I can never choose one. So I have a sweet top choice and a savory top choice. My sweet top choice is the pitahaya, which is that fruit we tried earlier. Oh man, I could eat so many more of those. And then for my savory option, I'd have to go with the hornado. It was the first thing we had today, and it was so delicious. It was perfectly smoked in that dipping sauce. Oh my gosh.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this DIY food tour. It was so much fun to make. We are definitely full and we're going to sleep great tonight. But if you guys want to follow along and see where we go next in Ecuador, definitely hit subscribe. And with that, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
The flame was red, but her eyes were blue. So instead, I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you. Her skin was soft, her laugh was light. not